Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-231-9279. That's 800-231-9279. 800-231-9279.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we're back with another edition of the book report where we're going to be talking about the normal stuff with the state sports betting handle and revenue numbers. Got deals, launches to talk about. But we're going to start this week again with some legislation. And a couple of different pieces of legislation have made news. And we're not talking about New York this week.
Yeah.
We're going to start talking about the Sunshine State, which is Florida.
I guess that's the big sports betting story of the week, right? Florida, they're, I guess, a couple steps closer to sports betting.
They've got a special legislative session scheduled sometime mid-May, mid-late May, that sort of time frame. But what the big news coming out of the state was that Governor Ron DeSantis and the Seminole Indian tribe have negotiated a new gaming compact.
Which is great.
And as anyone knows, in Florida, you can't do anything without the Seminoles agreeing to it. They run the Hard Rock International brand.
Absolutely.
What they have here is a 75-page agreement. And
it's worth billions. Billions
it very
for
well
Florida.
Could be. Very well could be. But if you thought New York was sort of an interesting way they have that set up, more stuff is going to come out in Florida. But it seems Florida may be following that same model.
Of New York?
Yeah, where they're going to have certain gaming platforms and then skins.
Okay.
So we'll see exactly where it goes. There's still a lot to unpack with this, and it's going to, by the time this airs, we may even see even more stuff come out about this, especially when it comes to how many skins they're going to have in the state. But the 75-page compact outlines the allowed games for both sports betting and fantasy sports, as well as casino games. There's also casino expansion involved in this as well, but we're going to focus on sports betting stuff. Legal age for sports betting will be 21. They're going to have problem gambling guidelines outlined in this compact. They're going to flesh them out even more. Not flush them, sorry.
Okay.
They're going to work out how the Seminoles and the pari-mutuels will work for actual sports betting, both retail and online. Calls for the servers for online betting to be on the tribal properties. They're going to be doing this compact with the state once it's completely approved. I thought this was interesting. This is another state that's going to allow betting on professional, college, and Olympic sports. All college, all professional, all Olympic sports.
Great.
But no college sports props.
Which means you can bet on Florida State, you just can't bet on a prop for the Florida State
individual
quarterback.
Players, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of states and jurisdictions that have that.
I think that's pretty good. I wish New Jersey had that.
You mean take the step, go to all college sports betting?
All college sports betting, but you're not allowed to place prop bets on the individual players.
It's actually a good compromise.
I like that.
It's a good compromise between the two, and it really doesn't impact the player itself, themselves in single betting, but betting on the sport is a difference than betting on the player, I think, anyway.
Okay.
But again, we'll see exactly where this goes. It's a great first step. A lot of people seem to be surprised with this. I noticed that different outlets are reporting different amounts of skins being online skins, the brands that are going to be paired up with certain things, certain parties to this. But again, all this has to be worked out. I think we're going to see some more after the legislative session in May. And again, this is a compact. It's not legalized yet. Mm-hmm. It has to still be approved by the state, and we'll see exactly where it goes with it. But Florida's moving in the right direction.
Great.
Let's go to our neighbors to the north, Canada.
Okay. Our neighbors to the north.
Everyone's been following the sports betting saga that's been going on there. They're finally moving towards single event sports betting. They've always had parlay sports betting.
Yeah, that's the way Delaware used to be for a long time. You couldn't bet on individual games.
Exactly.
It had to be part of a parlay.
Well, they've been, over the last couple of months, the country has been moving forward this bill that was introduced in the House of Commons. And just this past week, the House of Commons passed, or adopted, I think that's what they say up there, they adopted C-218, which is single event sports betting. It's a step in the right direction. It doesn't legalize sports betting just yet. We still got a ways to go.
It's a good first step.
It now goes to the Senate version in Canada. I actually think this is going to be kind of interesting because DraftKings just recently included Canada in some of their deals for fantasy sports and sports betting. And you have the Score Media, which is the home of their home is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love the Score. The Score is great.
The Score is great for both fantasy and sports betting.
Yeah, well, I have the on my phone. I've always had the Score app, and I'm not even talking. That wasn't even the sports betting app of the Score. It was just they had the scores, of course, and then they had the stats, and then they had the stats of the individual players, and they had news, which was it's such a great app. Even before you get the app for sports betting on the Score.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see exactly who's jumping in on this. You know it's going to be the Score is there. Probably the Score has the inside track with a lot of this stuff, but DraftKings is sort of there with their deals with Canada for fantasy sports. You got BetMGM, who is aiming for every country's market share of sports betting. So they're ones to watch. And as this moves along, we'll provide updates in the book report here. A couple of states are drafting regulations already. Arizona has started drafting their regulations.
Good,
They just passed it. They are now drafting. They are moving at light speed.
Two states that are moving at light speed. Well, maybe three. Certainly New York. They're the big story. Florida now the big story. And the two before New York and Florida were really like putting it into overdrive was Maryland and Arizona, because they're making incredible deals. They're making, I think they're probably going to be online before either New York or Florida. Watch for Maryland and Arizona.
I think Maryland's going to be interesting to watch in terms of which casinos are going to be able to launch sports betting first, because the way the framework of their sports betting industry was set up, the casinos that are already in existence have the quicker route to getting sports betting.
Sure.
Arizona, they're there already. Arizona, no one has anything yet for sports betting, so they're drafting regulations. They're still on track for a September 1st launch.
Well, I know in Arizona, the DraftKings made a deal with the PGA Tour, so that's
and also FanDuel has the Phoenix Suns.
Oh yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, so the deals are being made. So, like I said, I think Arizona and Maryland will probably be the next two states to, you'll see sports betting launch quicker than any other states.
Actually, if you want to compare the two, I think Arizona, in terms of the sports betting partnerships, they have the most, team-friendly sports betting legislation, because you're going to see more of the pro teams there,
sure,
and the arenas and the event centers getting sports betting quicker than a lot of other states were allowing them.
Mm-hmm.
So Arizona may be a fun state to watch in the coming weeks here. Let's talk some state sports betting numbers. We have Michigan reporting their March numbers for online sports betting.
Michigan is impressive. Very, very impressive.
Their online sports betting industry is growing leaps and bounds.
Absolutely,
in just their second full month.
Sure.
They had a $359 million handle for the month of March. Now, this is only online sports betting. They already reported their retail sports betting previously. So this is just online. $359 million handle for sports betting. That's a 19% increase from February. That was their first full month in existence. Gross gaming revenue was about $32 million. Adjusted, getting rid of all the promos and the free bets, about $19 million. They have a hold of 5.3%.
Okay.
If you break it down a little bit in terms of who was the leader, FanDuel had the top spot at $107.2 million in handle. BetMGM came in second with 92.6. DraftKings had $76.5 million.
Every time I think of Michigan, I think of MGM because that's, for me anyway, that's the casino I associate Michigan with. But no, FanDuel is beat out BetMGM, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
And two little things to note here. Twin Spires came in towards the bottom at a handle of $3.2 million. I'm curious to see how the rebrand is helping or hurting Twin Spires because they used to be Bet America.
Okay.
And when we get to Pennsylvania's numbers this month and also New Jersey's, this is going to be their first month. Here we're in April. This will be their first month, and it won't even be a full month that they're rebranded as Twin Spires in those states.
Okay.
So, but Twin Spires came in with about eighth or ninth place in the state. Golden Nugget, which is constantly one of the leaders in Jersey.
They're constantly one of the leaders because you can't turn on a television without seeing a
Tillman Fertitta
Golden Nugget TV commercial. And I mean, I'm not exaggerating. Maybe I see them 4 or 5 times a day, and it's not even the sports betting part of it. It's the online casino part in New Jersey. Which, by the way, Golden Nugget has been the number 1 online casino in New Jersey for, I don't know how many years going now. It's just absolutely stunning what Golden Nugget is doing in New Jersey with online casinos.
Well, in terms of Michigan, this is what I thought was interesting. They are just under $800,000 in handle for sports betting, which is kind of a low number, but again, they're just starting out there too. I think there's a lot of brand recognition going on, and I think once more and more people get used to the sports betting industry up there, you may see some of these numbers start to fluctuate a little bit too. But again, it's the big ones that are taking the market share: FanDuel, BetMGM, and DraftKings as the top 3. Tennessee released their March numbers, a very short report. $205.9 million in handle, $18 million in gross gaming revenue, $3.2 million in tax receipts. That was it. It was a 5-line report.
I got to tell you, I like those reports. I mean, a lot of people in the media and the sports betting media want to see like breakdowns of numbers and stuff like that. But for me, those are the numbers I need. Those are the numbers you should give me. Boom. I looked at it, know what's going on in Tennessee, and so I'm not complaining about their short report.
I don't mind short reports
like
either.
their short
It
reports.
is. I mean, if we were just doing this one topic, it would be a really terrible report because there'd be nothing to talk about other than just rehashing numbers over and over again. But again,
Give
short
me
and
the
sweet.
numbers and move on.
Well, going over to here's another one, short one. Arkansas. $5.95 million in handle for the month of March, $807,000 in revenue, $131,000 in tax receipts.
For Arkansas, I guess that's good. I mean, are they happy in Arkansas with that? Because look, when I think of sports betting, I don't think Arkansas.
No.
But it's $5.95 million they wouldn't have had without sports betting. So any money coming in from sports betting for the state to help its programs is a great thing.
And no online sports betting.
Well, that's impressive. That's shocking that they got $5.95 million, and you actually have to physically go to the sports books.
Well, let's go up north to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
$55.8 million handle in March. Online handle was $44.4 million.
And when you say online, you're talking DraftKings because
DraftKings.
they're
That's
the
it.
only ones up in New Hampshire, right?
Right.
That's it.
They are. New Hampshire is the model for New York, possibly Florida. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what we're going to see. But again, $44.4 million online handle, for the month of March, an $11.4 million handle for the land-based sportsbook in New Hampshire. That's a new monthly record for New Hampshire.
Now, where out at New Hampshire are they?
They're in a couple different casinos.
So, all right.
I guess you can call them casinos, right? There's like these little sports betting parlors at some of the old racetracks.
I've never once gambled in New Hampshire. We have an office up in Massachusetts in the Boston area, and I have never traveled to New Hampshire to bet. I mean, we've been to Rhode Island.
Yes.
That's fun, but I guess we got to try New Hampshire one of these days.
And the state of New Hampshire brought in $1.9 million in tax revenue for the month.
Great.
So that's an example of 50% going to the state from the sports betting industry there. Let's see. West Virginia, not really much to report there. They had $43 million in sports betting handle for the month of March. That's up $5 million in February. It's still down from December and January's numbers. We're over $50 million.
Do they still have that very unique sports book where it's almost a private club? What is it? Greenbrier. Is it still the way it has been in the past? I mean,
yeah, it's still membership only.
When you say membership only, can you purchase a membership for the day kind of thing?
No, but when you book a room there, if you're not a member of the Greenbrier, but if you book a room at the hotel there.
Okay, you're a member if you book a room.
You're a daily member
you're a daily member
when you book a room. But again, they still have the Greenbrier with, I believe it's FanDuel.
FanDuel, yeah.
So, got some good numbers there with New Hampshire as well as West Virginia. Let's see what else we got before I move on to some of the other deals here. Okay, let's go to some deals because we have a couple launches to talk about as well as deals. We have, I'm moving my notes around, so I apologize for a little delay here. Iowa, Circa Sports, U.S. Bookmaking, and Play Up all got their approvals for launch in Iowa.
I'm waiting for Circa to get to either New Jersey or Pennsylvania.
I'm waiting for Superbook more than Circa.
Yeah,
right
because one of these things, a lot of people don't realize about these online casinos and online sports books is, your players club. There are comps associated with these things that you're playing on. So you know what? If you play on MGM in New Jersey, you're going to get comped at MGM across the country,
yes,
across the world. So that's why you love these things coming to a state near you, because first they're fun to play, and secondly you got your comp points running up.
Well, that's one of the things where a lot of the loyalty clubs come in handy.
It's great, yeah. Always use them when you're signing up for these accounts.
Over in Colorado, you can now bet on the Professional Bull Riders Association and events there.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Approved betting market.
Colorado is the place if you want to go bet on table tennis. Yeah. Now, I'm curious to see if bull riding will take the place of table tennis, but I got to tell you, it appears that the table tennis market is very strong in Colorado, so I don't think anything is going to take that away.
Well, you got to remember, the last time Colorado reported the numbers, they had a good table tennis report, but the month after with Oregon did not have table tennis in the top 5 when they were having them number 3 or number 4 for a couple of months.
Yeah, wasn't Colorado number 4 for table tennis?
Yes, but okay. I'm just wondering if Colorado is going to have the same kind of reflection of maybe a table tennis season. Maybe table tennis will be a little lower again because it wasn't even in the top 5 for Oregon.
But no, bull riding should be interesting. I wonder. I've yet to see odds for bull riding.
Well, here are the approved markets. Outright winner for rider. I love this one. The outright winner, the bull.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's like something where the bull knocks him off before that 7-second
time. So
you
got like $50 on Cupcake to throw the rider off?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
The outright event winner, you can do head-to-head for the riders, head-to-head for the bulls.
Ooh, nice. I didn't think of that.
Over-under for the times for the rider and the bulls.
I would get the over-under for the times. Yeah, that makes sense.
So those are the approved ones. If you want to offer something different, a sportsbook has to apply to the Division of Gaming in Colorado and get approval for a different market.
I like that bull versus bull. That's interesting.
You know what? I don't watch enough bull riding, and I'm going to have to now.
Well, see, that's what sports betting does. I mean, if you're interested in betting a sport, you tend to learn about it. You tend to get familiar with the sport. You get familiar with the players of the sport or the personalities of the sport, which is great. You'll get to know the bulls and bull riding.
Real quick, Virginia, Unibet Sportsbook got their approval for launch. That's their fourth state. Moving over to a couple of the major deals, we have Sling TV recently announcing the DraftKings basketball betting channel.
Yeah, they're going to have a couple more betting channels too, right?
Baseball and hockey.
Okay, good.
Caesars completed their William Hill acquisition.
Finally, it took longer than
everybody anticipated.
Well, there was a court challenge to it, but I guess that's all done with.
And DraftKings is now the official, let me get this right, the official sportsbook and daily fantasy partner of the Professional Fighters League.
Okay.
You're going to see a lot of their events at Ocean Casino in New Jersey.
Great.
Two sports betting lounge announcements. We have Betfred, the Betfred Sports Left Field Lounge at the Iowa Cubs ballpark, and the Bet Rivers Lounge at PPG Paints Arena, which is the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That should be a fun time. Pittsburgh is a great sports city, and like when you add sports betting into it, it just tons more fun.
Well, 2 new betting lounges for people who go into the games to watch.
Great.
You actually have to buy tickets to get into both of those, specifically for those lounges.
Oh, okay. You just can't buy. You just can't wander in if you have a ticket to the game, huh?
Right. And Bet Rivers, if you're in the stadium, you're going to be able, if you're a Bet Rivers user, account holder, whatever you want to call them, registrant, you can actually bet on the games as you're watching them too.
Great.
That's it for this week's book report. If we missed anything in our discussion on the air, it will be on the written version of the book report on the blog. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see all these stories listed on the blog in print form.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.